and I like to be very like transparent right now. On the day I left to move here, to sign the lease and come and find a place and everything, I threw up in the bathroom. I did. I threw up probably an hour and a half before my flight. I did. I was checked in. I had my carry-on, my backpack, and I went in the bathroom and I felt hot. I felt sweaty. I mean, all of it. It was like a straight up panic attack, anxiety, all of that. Like I had checked my luggage in, and I could say there was no turning back at that point. I mean, I guess I could have let my luggage go, but there was no turning back. Hello YouTube family. Oh, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to try something just a little bit different today. Now that I'm here in Merida, it has become a little bit more challenging. Now that I'm settled in here, I've been here, but now that I'm more settled in, it's become more challenging to create content, right? Like I'm living my life. I'm getting ready for school to start back, and like all the things I'm doing. I don't think to stop and record my life. Like, shout out to all the YouTubers that can record every single thing they're doing. I can't. I'm working on getting better and giving out the content that matters the most, right? So that's what we're here today. So today we are going to tackle my main today and talk about more about mindset and fears, moving abroad, living abroad as a single parent. That's really what I want to focus on today. It's been a lot of the questions and comments that I get in my inbox, and I think that it's best to really talk about it because most of the time I'm observing that it's a lot of fear that's holding people back, especially seeing like the news report that comes out, warning Americans not to travel to Mexico, yada, 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 other stuff like that. So I just kind of want to take a minute today, or 2 or 10, I don't know how long the video is going to be, and talk about mindset and fears when moving abroad. And I feel like the best time to do it is like right now, because as you can see, I have to tackle this. So the best time to do it is I'm going to be sitting here doing my hair, so we might as well talk about it. Y'all let me know if it's a little crazy. Also, I am not one of the natural hair girlies or whatnot. You're going to see some stuff mixed together. For example, this oil bottle, it is just an oil bottle to me. It started off originally as some type of almond oil that I just used on my body, and I mixed out my oils and juices and berries and stuff in there to put on my hair. I've been sick for like the last week and a half. Like we're coming up on 2 weeks at this point, and I was looking crazy, y'all. Let me tell you, I was looking crazy. So I detangled my fro, and now it's time for me to just put myself back together. Excuse me if I have a little cough. I have to clear my throat. So that's what I'm really going to focus on. But we're going to talk about mindset and fears in today's YouTube. I'm back. As you can see, I have washed my hair. I washed my hair. Oh, and I trimmed it too. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. I just be doing stuff. But it works. I know a question that I get asked is, do I use the regular water here to wash my hair? And the answer is yes. But don't try and, let me be your guide for hair care or anything related to that. That is not my that's not my ministry, honey. That is not my ministry at all. Hair is tedious work. And I'm just not the type of girl just be laboring. But I do like to look nice, so I must take care of my hair. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Oh, and I'm not loyal to any product, so you will see Cantu here. I know there's a whole lot of beef around whether or not we should still be using Cantu. I don't remember exactly why there was beef over using Cantu. So, some stuff that don't apply to me. I also heard we're supposed to use Blue Magic oil in our hair, and I literally had a jar of that under my cabinet, and I used it up until I got ready to move because I didn't want to repurchase hair products. So yeah, that's pretty much that. What I'm doing, I'm just putting it back in a ponytail so I can work with it better. But I mean, honestly, my hair journey is like a perfect caveat into this story, like into this discussion, because I mean, I never did my own hair until like 2020, and it was because of my daughter. Well, I tried it at other times in life. I just never had the patience for it. Maybe I should say that. I just never had the patience, and I just would rather apply my gifts elsewhere than sitting down trying to figure out how to do hair. So I didn't learn. And my daughter, she loves her natural hair, which I love that for her. But I grew up in a different era where like the curly hair wasn't like, it wasn't the in style. So I had to learn to love my hair and not just be afraid to wear my hair in its natural state. Now, I'm gonna twist it today because we are going to a paint party, not paint party, it's like a thing at a new art gallery here in Merida. And so we're going there tomorrow, and I think we might go to brunch on Sunday. So I just don't want to have to deal with the wash and go hair opposed to just, some already twisted and dried hair is easier for me to manage. So with that, like I had to change my mindset about my hair and not being afraid of like what like the backlash could possibly be in regards to my hair. Working in a professional setting, I was very concerned like how my hair would be perceived. I didn't want to like be an outcast. I wanted to be socially accepted. In my hair, my nails at one point in LA, I was growing my natural nails really long, and so I even cut my nails down. And just different things like that. Like I wanted to be accepted because there was this mindset that, natural hair and long nails, it was perceived as ghetto, regardless of, how educated you were. It's just the perception. It was perceived as ghetto. And, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be known for my intelligence and my skill. So fast forward, I just kind of broke out of that because I realized that I'm teaching my daughter to love and accept her hair and all the different ways she can manipulate her hair and do things to her hair. And I wasn't doing it for myself. So one of my 2020 resolutions were to not wear sew-ins and to learn to better care for my hair. Well, we all know what happened in 2020. If you were not there, I don't know how, possibly you missed it, but the pandemonium jumped off and I had no choice but to learn how to do my hair. And with that, it just became this relationship now. Is it the healthiest relationship? I don't know, but it happened. And as time went on, I just grew to just love my natural hair. Even when I have my hair, like my hair was in braids, I missed my curly hair. I miss my crazy hair. I miss my big hair. So I looked at like mindset, right? And fear told me that, you know, we were not supposed to have our hair a certain way. So even with that being said, moving to Mexico, right? As moving to Mexico, thankfully my family was very, very supportive. I think they just kind of accept this is who I am at this point. I'm, you know, the child that's gonna live clear across the world, or whatnot. So I got a lot of support from my family. I did have one brother, and he was like, "The cartel gonna get you." And I was, as I've said before, y'all ain't got no money. They not coming to get me. Like, they gonna be mad trying to get money from y'all. So so it's been so long since I've twisted my hair. So, you know, but I did hear it from other people. I didn't tell a lot of people because it's just not who I am as a person. But I did, you know, have to, you know, when I told other people, they were like, "Well, what about the cartel?" And I'm gonna just be honest. I was like, "Well, what about the KKK? Like, y'all, you know, saying y'all worried about the wrong stuff here. Like, y'all worried about the cartel when we got KKK and school shooters and all this other stuff here in the U.S. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm gonna take my chances again with the cartel because I ain't got no money." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. That's the least of my concern. Not my least, but it's definitely not a top 10 concern for me." In being a mom, I mean, one of the reasons I moved to Merida is because of, you know, safety, you know, and, you know, just knowing that I could take measures to keep myself safe here. And with that mindset, you know, I sought out to do what I wanted, what I wanted to do in life. I joined the Army when I was 18, 19. And one of the things they told me was that I was gonna see the world. Now, they showed me a little bit of it, but not exactly what I wanted to see. I'm gonna just be honest. It wasn't like the Japans I didn't get the chance to go to Korea or anything like that. I kind of just got locked into deployment after deployment after deployment. All right, 3 times, right? So I just kind of figured like, okay, you know, I want to see the world. It's just who I am as a person, the type of person that wants to see the world. I love different cultures. So I've always had the mindset that I wanted to see the world, but how was I going to do that? Particularly as a single mom, right? As a single mom, how was I going to do that? And a lot of time, you know, the mindset is just to stay close to your family, your friends, you know, stay in a safe place, right? Because a lot of people feel like, not a lot of people feel like, but a lot of people need a lot of help with their kids or whatnot. And I quickly realized that I'm just a more independent parent. Even how my daughter's dad and I agreed to raise her, we kind of wanted to, you know, go off the beaten path with raising her. We wanted to raise her with the whole world approach, and not really just limit who she had interactions with. Some people think of group dynamics, you know, in raising their kids. They only want to raise their kids around a certain group of people because they feel as though it's safer to only raise their kids around a particular group of demographic. And I don't agree with that. I don't disagree with it. It's just not my approach to parenting. So with that being said, you gotta have an open mind, right? And if you're not an open-minded person, you know, the people that travel the world and they're not interested in trying new foods, They're not interested in learning the language or learning the customs. They just want to go because they saw this really cool picture on Instagram and they need that picture on their IG profile. That's cool, baby. You are a bona fide tourist. Go and be a tourist. There is nothing wrong with touring. Help that economy. Go and give them your money and let that be that. That is okay to just be a tourist if that's what you want to do. However, if you want to move abroad, you need to change your mindset. You need to have an open mindset. You need to understand that things are going to be different. Things culturally, you have to understand that, different approaches to how to the way life is, and if you don't have that mindset and you want to move abroad, you got to start working on your mindset. You gotta, if you can't try new things in Texas or Arkansas, California, Alabama, then baby, don't come to Mexico. Don't come to Mexico, because even the U.S. local standard fare food tastes different here. It tastes completely different. Eggs taste different here. There's so many things that are just different. And if you're not the type of person to really venture out and try new things, then baby, don't leave your neighborhood. And as far as leaving like your neighborhood, I joined the Army when I was like 18, 19, and I went out into the world on my own at that point. And then after I got out the Army, I was married. So I'm jacking this up. So I moved to Los Angeles after I got out with my husband. And I have family there as well. However, after I graduated from grad school and was changing career paths, I moved to Dallas, Texas. And I have some friends there that I end up finding like after the fact, like after I was like, all right, I'm in Dallas. And people were like, what, where are you at? And I had friends from the military that were in Dallas and back home from my hometown that were there. And however, prior to that wasn't the plan. I found an apartment that was close to my job. My job had flex scheduling to allow me the opportunity to be able to pick up and drop off my daughter. I reached out to the school to make sure I could get my daughter enrolled in after school care. As soon as I got there, I got connected with my local Y for summer camps and activities. Like, I'm just that type of person that I knew what I wanted, and I knew that I wanted that career change. And so I took the steps to make sure that going there, I would be successful, at making such a big change, moving from Los Angeles to Dallas. It's a cat chasing a lizard outside of my patio. And so, yeah, those are the things that I had to think of. Now, moving from Los Angeles to Dallas, come on now. Child, let's talk about a change. I mean, it was a big change. There were a lot of things that were different. However, there were a lot of pluses and there was some minuses, things I had to relearn after growing up in the South and living on the West Coast for so long. Cultural norms, a lot of things like that. But I will say this, that those things kind of made me step outside of my comfort zone. And those things also made me who I am as a person today and gave me a I feel like every time you do something new, you get like a new, like a new pen I don't know, like the Girl Scouts, you get a patch or something. And that makes you more confident when you're doing things, when you're going out there. Now, have I ever experienced fear? I've experienced fear, and I like to be very like transparent right now. On the day I left to move here, to sign the lease and come and find a place and everything, I threw up in the bathroom. I did. I threw up probably an hour and a half before my flight. I did. I was checked in. I had my carry-on, my backpack, and I went in the bathroom, and I felt hot. I felt sweaty. I mean, all of it. It was like a straight up panic attack, anxiety, all of that. Like I had checked my luggage in, and I could say there was no turning back at that point. I mean, I guess I could have let my luggage go, but there was no turning back at that point. So yes, I threw up. I was like, okay, this is really happening. Every time something happened, I just was like, and I think that was the moment where it really hit me that like, you were moving to Mexico. Like it was all just like kind of coming. It was like coming, and it was coming fast. It was hitting fast. So I'm not saying that I don't experience any type of fear, because yes, just like the next person, I have fear. I didn't really know what to expect. I had never even been to Merida before I came. I literally just showed up. Like, all right, I watched the YouTube videos, I read the blogs, I looked online, I went to like the websites and translated on my computer. I read everything I think I could read, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I was still sold on it. One thing I learned very young is anytime I have those moments where I feel like this is really crazy, Josie, like that's my government name anyway. This is really crazy. Like, are you really about to do this? Like, for some reason, every time I've been in those situations, what's on the other side of all that fear has been the best for me. It has always been the best for me. Going back to school for a bachelor's in business, I was like, how am I going to do this with a 1-year-old? And I just became a single mom. And then going back to school after having that summer off in between, undergrad and grad school, I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, life ain't that bad. Life is not that bad. But I knew what I needed to do, like career-wise, and I was like, oh, you gotta do it. You just gotta do it. And so I did it, and it was grad school is a humbling experience, but I did it. It was the best experience. Fast forward, moving to Dallas, I was like, who do I really want to do this? I love the West Coast. I mean, honestly, even though I haven't been back after I left, I still love the West Coast. That feels like home to me. That feels like what my home is located. I just, I was like, all right. And I did it, I had some ups and downs, some backs and some forths. I entertained a few job interviews in LA to stay, and I was, okay, no, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And it was thus far like the best experience that I could have made for myself and my daughter. And then fast forward, it was the same thing. I went round and around, and my cousin always told me, she was like, you always said that you were going to move abroad, and you always said it. And she says, and here you are, and you're doing it. And I just, that was kind of like, that was like real life. I just remember saying to her, like, I got to figure out how to do it. I never knew how to make it happen. But once I figured out the how to make it happen, I made it happen. And again, there was some fear. There's some fear of, in retiring early? Will I be able to stretch my retirement long enough? Will I be able to create other forms of residual income? Will I, the biggest thing was moving was like my budget. Is this a realistic budget? Like, I hear everyone talking about like, oh, how it's, lower than some places in the US as far as cost of living. Is that realistic, And so things like that for me were really important. That's what I had the most anxiety about, was how will I sustain myself and my family while in Mexico. And again, I made a plan, right? And I just had the mindset that if it's meant for me to be there, if it's meant for me to have, if it's meant for me to happen, it'll work out. And it'll work out to my benefit. It won't be to my detriment. And so far I can say it's been to my benefit. And I know there's some people whose family members will be discouraging. If you have like a co-parent or another parent, that other parent may be discouraging. Just the news, cut the news off. Turn the news off, honey. Like turn the news off. I used to be such a news watcher and all caught up in politics and everything, just really wanting to know what's going on here, what's going on there. And God, a part of me is kind of like ashamed to say I have no clue what's going on in the world. I get the Merida news through Facebook. I get my news through Facebook. Yeah, I get the Merida news through Facebook. And then some expat groups I'm in, like people share news articles, things like that. But yeah, I am not the best of keeping up with the times and things that are going on. I'd rather just focus on the positive. So I wanted to share some of the things that I do for like a positive mindset. No, every day I'm not a bag of rainbows. Every day I'm not a bag of sunshine and Care Bears. Like, that's not my everyday. Yes, I have tough days. Going into full-time entrepreneurship and really launching my brand has really been challenging. I feel like every day I am learning something new, which I actually enjoy after the moment is gone. Like after the stressed moment is gone, I am always like, oh, I'm glad I learned that. And I try to share with other people. And so I just wanted to share some of the things I do every day. I don't know how many things it is. I didn't number it in my notes. But the things that I do every day to keep myself in a positive mindset and to stay focused with battling my fears. And I would also say, and there's a note there, it has a tornado, but it's really a hurricane. So as we approach hurricane season coming up, I've never been in a hurricane. I've never been in a hurricane. I don't even know what to do. I watched as they had the tropical storm last year that was supposed to be a hurricane, but just ended up being a tropical storm. I watched how that unfolded. Like, I was glued to everyone's YouTube, hoping that they posted updates and notifications or whatnot. And because I've never been in a hurricane. And I just remember when I moved to LA in like 2012, when I moved to LA, I was at home and my ex-husband was at work, and it was just me and the dog, and we were laying in bed, and I felt the bed shaking, right? And I was just like, and I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I think we're having an earthquake. So we went and jumped in the bathtub. Y'all don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. We jumped in the bathtub. Why did I think the bathtub was gonna save us? I don't know. We got in the bathtub. I got in the bathtub. The dog at the time, her name was Ginger. Ginger, that's my baby. She got in the bathtub. We was in the bathtub. It stopped shaking seconds later. Anyway, it happened. I was not prepared. So next thing you know, I'm like all trying to like research like earthquakes and all this other stuff and like how to survive earthquakes, yada, yada, yada. And next thing you know, I'm living there 6-7 years later, and like the earth starts shaking, and I'm just like, oh, we're having an earthquake. So I say all that to say, I have that fear. Like, I'm like, okay, if the winds get too rough, baby, I'm just gonna go to my mama's house. I'm just buy a ticket and pack up the dog and the kid, and we just gonna go visit Granny. Like, should I run out? No, I shouldn't. So I'm gonna try to prepare. I'm gonna do the best I can to prepare. But I don't think my mom's gonna be mad if I come visit. If I decide to come visit, I think my mama would be mad. So we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. So here are some of the things that I do to stay positive. The first thing I do is I write daily. I journal every day. Every day I get up in the morning and I journal. And I journal about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, things I need to do. Let's see. I don't know if I dreamed about something, all the things that's going on, I try to put it onto paper, because sometimes we have these thoughts and these feelings and we don't get them out. Not to say we got to talk to a therapist, which if you need to talk to a therapist, there's absolutely nothing wrong with seeing therapists. But sometimes we just need to just get it out of our head, right? And sometimes saying it out loud or writing it down, you kind of look at it like it's really not as a big of a deal as I'm making it out to seem like it is, right? So that's just one of the things that I do. I journal. Journaling is so big for me. I'm the worst at maintaining one journal. I have like 3 journals. I have like 3 journals, so if everybody try to put my memoirs together, they just gonna have to find all the journals. The other thing that I do is I focus on my health. That's like the biggest thing for me, and I know you'll see all over YouTube. They'll tell you like a healthy mindset starts with a healthy body, and I truly believe that, because one of the things that I always focus on is, like how I'm feeling, how I'm looking. A lot of those things, correlate to me. And so with that being said, I focus on my health, trying to make sure that I exercise daily, that I'm eating healthy, which I love that here about Mexico. We eat so much better here. That I'm eating healthy, exercising regularly, that I am taking care of my body, whether it's vitamins or stretching, something I am the worst about, stretching, things like that. Taking care of my physical body, my physical health, as well as doing things for my physical appearance. This right here for me, even though it's a chore and it takes me like 2 hours from start to finish to do my hair, I appreciate it when it's done, and I appreciate that the outcome after everything is said and done. I just love the way I feel when my hair is done. The third thing, I hope we're on the third thing. The third thing that I do is I try to develop meaningful relationships. So developing meaningful relationships is so important. It's so important. Because if it's a meaningful relationship, it doesn't matter if you're near or far. It doesn't matter if that person is right down the street from you. It doesn't matter if that person lives in the same house with you. If the relationship is solid, if it's a meaningful like relationship and has impact on your life, then you could be clear across the world. One of my best friends right now, shout out to Dee, she lives in Germany, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes we don't talk for like weeks. Sometimes we'll talk a couple days in a row. Sometimes we talk on Facebook. So it doesn't matter, because I know that is a real solid, genuine relationship, and it doesn't matter where I'm at. I have her back and she has mine. It's just something that I don't have to worry about, because I know that she is a genuine, solid friend. And those types of meaningful relationships. So even here in Merida, I'm working on building some genuine relationships. Now, is it a little bit harder? Yeah, it's a little bit harder here. Why is it a little bit harder? Because everybody's kind of here doing their own thing or whatnot. And that's cool. I think it's just showing up when it matters the most. And I think that's where look at my hair doing its own thing. And I think that's what matters the most, is having people that you know that you can depend on, that's like, they could be a friend, and sometimes your friends become more of your family than your family is, you know. Little known fact, I'm the youngest of 7 kids and my mom had me later in life. So my siblings are all significantly older than me, except for 2 of them, and they're men now, you know, with their own families and stuff. We're still close, but it's just not the same, you know, once you've grown up. So I think that it's important to develop and maintain meaningful, healthy relationships, right? Because some relationships aren't that healthy. You know, it's like a trauma bond. You know, I don't have best friends from elementary school. I have the friends that God gave me later in life, which is cool with me. So yeah, meaningful, healthy relationships. That's another thing to help you have a positive mindset. Because if you have meaningful, healthy relationships, when you are not feeling your best, you know you have somebody that you can talk to about something, that you can, you know, you can vent to, that you can, you know, express yourself openly and honestly and freely with. You know, that's the importance of having those meaningful, healthy relationships. Okay, the other thing I do to stay positive and have a positive mindset, okay, is I research and read to enhance my understanding of things. Okay, like my hair, like I said, I went to YouTube, the School of Beauty at YouTube University, in order to be able to do my hair in a presentable manner and my daughter's hair. I read constantly. My family nicknamed me Google, because if we're talking about something and I feel like I don't know that much about the subject and people are saying things and they think, I'm just Googling. And it's to the point now, my family waits for me because they know I'm gonna Google it, right? So my family will just wait for me. Well, what did it say? And then I by the time we get there, I have found the facts, and I've also found out where sometimes the opinions or feelings or emotions come from. And then sometimes everybody's not dead wrong; they're just not 100% correct. So yeah, I research. I also read. I got into, like, I'm not gonna say self-help books, right? But I've gotten more into the personal development books, so we're gonna call them personal development books. And I feel as though, you know, just kind of having those different types of books that'll give you ways to approach things. I got this book later in life, and I am going to pin it. It was on my desk the other day, and if you watched any of my other videos, you've heard me talk about it once or twice or 3 times maybe before. There is this book by Susan Jeffers, I can't remember, and it is called Feel the Fear. Let's see if it's on my bookshelf. No, it's not on my bookshelf. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, right? I got recommended that book in grad school, in a business development course, which was geared toward entrepreneurship. And I have been like the biggest advocate of this book. Like, please, Susan, if you need to put me on payroll, sis, put me on payroll, okay? Because I love that book. I love some of the approaches. I love the scenarios. It is such a practical application type book. And, it's considered a self-help book. But listen, personal development, self-enhancement, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It really just talks about overcoming some of the obstacles. And a lot of times we place obstacles in our own way out of fear. And I think that book is just great. It's just great. It's great for that. It's really a resource. I mean, my daughter, it's gonna be on her like 8th grade read because it's such an important book that I think that everybody needs to read at least once in life. As far as just doing anything, any step in life, whether it's business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's school, anything. I mean, it's a great book. I'm not gonna fan the book, but I'm just saying it's a great book. Researching and reading for self-development is another way that I keep a healthy mindset. I also curate what I look at on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok-ish a little bit. Another part of my platform, my brand, Bad Luck Kitty, is dating and relationships. Okay, so I do I kind of take in a little toxic stuff here and there with the brand because the state of dating is a little interesting nowadays. But I really do curate what I look at. Okay, example, I was always thinner, a lot thinner. I was thin, honey. Okay, I had what some people call like a boy body. Like I didn't have much at the top, nothing at the bottom, and nothing in between, child. And as I have gotten older, become a mom, was a grad school, all this other stuff, life just hit me, honey. And with life hit me, so did the pounds. And with that, oh look, the curls are so pretty. And with that being said, I had to learn to appreciate my body for not where it used to be, but for where it is now in life. Okay, so even 35, my eating habits, exercise, sleep, oh my God, sleep, all those things play a major role in my overall physical fitness. And also learning that everybody's body is different. I think when you're young, everybody thinks everybody's body is either thick or thin, or fat or thin. I think so, thick or thin, fat or thin, right? And then as you get older and you understand ectomorph and mesomorph and endomorph and different types of bodies that exist, and you learn you got to eat breakfast and you got to do this and you got to do that, all these other things that you've learned from your youth, which were important for that phase in your life, you have to relearn that. And so with that being said, I don't follow bodies in fitness that have no absolute potential to look like my body. 5'10", I tango with 200 pounds. I can't follow someone who's 5'3", 100, 130 pounds. It's just so unrealistic. It's just unrealistic. And then I'll have an unrealistic body standard. I also can't follow someone whose weight distributes differently. I'm taller, again, 5'10". So if I follow someone who's 5'10", and when they gain weight solely in their midsection, it's really not gonna do no good for me, because when they lose weight, they're gonna lose weight in their midsection. However, I'm a person, I gain weight in my lower portion of my body, in my arms. So, it's going to look different. So I have to be cautious of the things that I'm putting into my mind in regards to my body, so that I don't have unrealistic expectations. in terms of if I were to buy a program or just listen to this person's results, like, are they really going to serve me? Is this going to be beneficial for me, right? So curating the things that I take in. Again, not watching the news. I do not watch the news. I don't watch the news unless it's just something that I feel like is entertaining and I want to know about it. I also eliminated gossip, all those gossip channels and stuff like that. I got rid of a lot of those on my pages, including some friends. I'll go ahead and say that. Sometimes you got to get rid of those friends, acquaintances, co-workers. There are people that are just negative, honey, and they can't help themselves. They're going to be negative. That is their personality trait, is to be the negative Nancy, the Debbie Downer, the oh my God, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like, get rid of those people, please. Do yourself a favor. Cut sling load. Get rid of them. That's what you got to do. You just got to get rid of them, okay? And then another thing that I do to maintain a healthy mindset is, work on your spiritual or religious self. I don't want to offend anyone based on religion or anything like that, but if you don't have a relationship with something or somebody or whoever it's going to be, find a relationship, okay? If you want to start worshiping blades of grass, child, go for it, right? Because if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we all have to have faith or belief in something, right? Even atheists have a belief that there's nothing, but there's something somewhere, okay? Whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whether it's Buddha, whatever you need to be, find that relationship. And a lot of times people have fear based on their religion as well. Baby, I grew up Southern Baptist. I am a preacher's kid. Y'all like, what? I'm a preacher's kid. And I think that a lot of things, young, I thought I wanted to go into like math, right, in the sciences. And when I started taking classes and I started seeing, because that good Southern education, baby, you gonna learn about biology, but you ain't gonna learn all about it, right? And so you start looking at different things, and my adult self started looking at things from a different perspective, right? And the way religion is taught to us, we're not taught to embrace religion, but more of this fear, a lot of fear, fire and brimstones and damnation and tarnation and all this other good stuff. And so with that being said, a lot of times your religion can increase your fear, but understanding that a healthy mindset comes when you have faith rooted in something. I'm not telling you what to have your faith rooted in, but have your faith rooted in something, even if it's the belief in nothing, right? But being steadfast in that, right? Because a lot of things in the world will try to cause you a shift or say that you need governance based on X, Y, and Z, whether it's dating, relationships, parenting, whatever it is. Figure out whatever you want to do for yourself and your family, and that's what's gonna help, right? I love the stories of the Bible. I'm just throw that out there. I love the stories of the Bible. There's always a story for something. There's always a contradiction for something too, and there's also people's different interpretations of the Bible as well. But with that being said, I love that the stories, the parables of the Bible, just kind of give you a guide to how to live life. No, I'm not here to preach to anybody or minister to anybody or tell anybody to pick up any particular religion. I'm just saying I like the stories, okay? Still working on myself, all right? So that's another tip. Well, that was number 5. Was number 5, y'all? I don't know if that was number 5. Okay, and the 6th thing is stop overthinking. From a professional overthinker, honey, I am telling you to stop overthinking. right? Because sometimes, even this YouTube video, I promise you, even though my goal today is I'm going to publish this YouTube video. I'm going to roughly edit it. Y'all gonna be like, "Ooh, child, we see the rough editing." I'm gonna roughly edit it, and I am going to post this YouTube video today. It is going to go up today. That is what I'm going to do, because I think it's so important understanding mindset, understanding fear in relations to moving abroad, right? And I'm going to overthink it. Now, it might go into scheduled so that it can pop up tomorrow at a particular time. But I'm gonna set it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen today. It's gonna happen today, honey. And with that being said, I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't start a YouTube," or "I don't post because I don't do that much cool stuff," or "Who wants to hear from me?" Yada, yada, yada. And you will be surprised what you have to contribute to the world, whether it's YouTube, whether it's moving abroad. Who's to say that, you know, your gift is something to you know, like, change the world or whatnot? Who's to say you don't have that gift, you know? Additionally, you know, stop overthinking. Overthinking is rooted in fear, because it's the fear that it's not good enough, we're not good enough, imposter syndrome. I remember publishing my first book, and I just had oh my God, like, even just the short stories that I would put out initially, I had so much fear. And my girl Marche said, she was like, "It's imposter syndrome, and you got to get over that and just do it." Like, and she was like, "Just do it." And I was like, "Okay." Yeah, easier said than done. And so I just did it. And I started just doing it a little better. I'm not going to say I just do it the easiest now, but I'm better at it because I'm learning to not overthink so much. That's so important for me. Okay, and last but not least, I don't know if it's least, is that I make a plan. This is one of the things I do to have a positive mindset, is I make a plan. No, it's not a rigid plan, but I make a general plan for myself every day. There are things that have to get accomplished, right? Things at the top of the list that must absolutely happen. And then there's other things that, like, be great if they happen today, because then if not, then I'm gonna have to do them tomorrow. And then, you know, why put off today for tomorrow what you can do today? I just jacked it up. Don't quote me on that. And then there's other things where it's just like, it'd be nice if this happened today. It'd be really nice if it happened today, right? Like, that would be great. If I could get this accomplished today, that would be great, right? You know, is it gonna happen? I don't know if it's gonna happen. You never know around here. It might happen. I might get everything done on my to-do list. I might get nothing done on my to-do list. But the goal is make a list, right? And prioritize the list. And prioritizing that list, some things you will realize quickly. The things that I'm sitting up here, I'm laying in bed, and I am just stressing over, right? I am stressing over this. And then you make a list of things and you realize, this ain't even important. I don't even need to do this. Why am I even playing myself? Like, I could do this next week or anything like that. I don't know if next week is the best example, but it's not really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But because you have led yourself to believe, you know, in your mind, because you kept saying it over and over and making it a priority in your mind. And once you put it out on that to-do list, whether it's on your phone or on a piece of paper, once you got that to-do list and then you realize it's not that big of a deal. Or there's something you realize once you write it down because you've been thinking about it, and you realize, oh my God, the due date for that is coming due. Like it's coming due a lot quicker than I actually gave myself time for. So it's more of a priority than I thought it was. Okay, and that's not. I mean, I say these things like when moving abroad, but y'all, this is like just regular stuff. A lot of these habits I've had for a while, and I've been working through them, and I think it helps me to stay in a positive mindset. In keeping that, I am here by myself with my daughter and our poochie poo, and you know, those things really help me to be successful in staying positive. And I just want to encourage you to chase your dreams, chase your dreams, chase your goals, whatever it is. Find a way to make it happen. I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't do XYZ because of my job or because of my kids. And a lot of times you can probably find a new job. You're just afraid to look for another one. And sometimes you can talk to your kids, and your kids may be on board with whatever that new thing is. And they may appreciate the change or the new whatever it is that you're trying to introduce to them. They may be on board with it more than you thought, more than you knew. And I want you to do that, because the more people we have in the world, living their best life, living their dreams, living full lives, then that's one less person we have to worry about that is trying to take from someone else, that's trying to destroy someone else's dreams, right? In pop culture, we call them haters, right? Those people that are taking from others, they're haters. So it's really important for people to live out their dreams, live full, healthy lives, and find ways to overcome fear, find ways to battle, battles of the mind, mindset struggles, and use those things just practically in your everyday life. I am going to open up my calendar to start having some mini consultations with people about moving abroad. I am by no means an expert, but I have to tell y'all, every day I realize I'm spending about 2 hours every day answering messages, whether on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. And I don't mind answering the messages, but sometimes I'm getting swamped, right? So for people that need just a little more time, so just like quick questions or whatnot, I would love to talk to you one-on-one, and I will be opening up my calendar to be able to provide more private consultations to people. That way I can help, even if you want to talk about like overcoming mindset or asking more questions. I know there are a lot of single moms interested in moving abroad with their kids, and just kind of asking, more of those in-depth personal questions that you don't want to ask on a social media platform. I totally get it. And, I just want to reach out. I want to set up the opportunity to be a resource in a more intimate setting. So I will be launching that, putting that on my website, www.badluckkittie.com. I really, really appreciate everyone who has donated and bought a coffee. That has been amazing. I think it's so cute that you can buy a coffee, even though I'm not really on coffee a lot like that here. But you bought tamales. Oh my God, y'all. I gotta kick my tamale habit. I went from a taco problem to a tamale problem. Y'all just pray for me, okay? So I'm going to end it there, even though I'm not finished with my hair, okay? But I'm gonna end it there because that is the end of the video. I hope you all are keeping well, staying great, enjoying life, and until the next video, bye-bye.